Stop me if you've heard this before. Kathleen Kennedy is set to step down as president of Lucasfilm. Yes, I know. It feels like we've been hearing about Kathleen Kennedy leaving for years now. Honestly, you might have even heard it from this channel, several times and everything, but this time the news about Kathleen Kennedy is coming from Puck News and everything. And other outlets are also picking up the story about Kathleen Kennedy too, with Screen Time, Culture Crave, who, by the way, has a lot of people blocked, but not me and everything. But the main source of it is Matt Baloney. Okay, and I think it's how you say his name. Anyway, he's reporting that Kathleen Kennedy is leaving Lucasfilm by the end of 2025. Now, after years of speculation about Kathleen Kennedy and let's be honest, some polite urging from people like me, it looks like Kathleen Kennedy is finally stepping down, according to 3 different sources. That Kathleen Kennedy has informed Disney, along with her friends and associates, that she's stepping down by the end of the year. Of course, Disney and Kathleen Kennedy's personal publicists have both declined to comment. Not exactly shocking, right? I mean, let's be honest here. Kathleen Kennedy is going to be 72 here in June, and that's a long career stretch, horrible career. And if you remember, Kathleen Kennedy was handpicked by George Lucas himself, okay? And that was a huge mistake right there. But here's the crazy part. We've heard Kathleen Kennedy was actually planning to leave last year, okay? She even set up an exit interview with a journalist, but changed her mind and decided to go ahead and stay for one more year. Funny how things play out, huh? Now, timing is everything, but now with this new report about Kathleen Kennedy, it looks like her time is finally up. And I've got to say, as much as I might have had issue with Kathleen Kennedy and her leadership with Lucasfilm, I mean, it's people respect her tenacity, and Kathleen Kennedy held on a lot longer than most people expected. But there may be some secrets tied to that. But that's a different story for a different day. Even D-Day Cobra of Geeks and Gamers responded on Screen Time, simply saying thank you, President Donald Trump. Because, well, let's face it. I mean, making Star Wars great again is no small task. But in fact, it might just be one of those toughest jobs out there. Okay, and that's because Kathleen Kennedy has absolutely ruined Star Wars beyond belief. Now, as you all know, Star Wars has been dragged so far down that sometimes it's hard to even remember what made Star Wars great in the first place, okay? But here's where it gets interesting, okay? Right around the time all of this happens with U.S. aid money started getting exposed, the wokeness began to disappear, okay? Now, y'all remember when Sean Penn went on to the far eastern Ukraine, land and stuff over near Europe, gave an Oscar to Zelensky? Yeah, that just didn't happen out of the goodness of his heart. Reportedly, he was paid $5 million by U.S. aid for that little stunt. And now I can't say for sure that, if that number's accurate, but there's a lot of reports floating around, but it makes you think, doesn't it? I mean, let's be real here. And also, Bill Mitchell pointing out that it's also a bit too convenient that as soon as the U.S. aid funds got cut off from the media outlets, all these woke shows started getting canceled. I mean, it's like wokeness is just suddenly vanishing everywhere. And now, after a decade of running Star Wars into the ground itself, all of a sudden, Kathleen Kennedy is stepping down. Now, let's be honest. You really expect me to believe that's just a coincidence? I mean, not a chance at all. But I mean, sure, Kathleen Kennedy is, 72 years old, or she's turning 72. And yes, we've heard these rumors before, but I don't buy for a second that this timing is just by accident. You see, all these woke shows are just disappearing and stuff. Anchors are getting the boot, and now Kathleen Kennedy is on her way out. I mean, come on, something's actually going on here, and it's a lot bigger than just one executive retiring, okay? Now, let me be clear. This isn't officially confirmed yet. It's actually coming from Puck News, and honestly, I don't know much about them. I mean, a lot of other people have a lot more followers than they do, and they haven't even been around for that long. But the story is definitely making waves, and it fits everything else with what we're seeing right now with this whole culture shift away from the woke ideology. And it's no coincidence also that this is happening right as Kathleen Kennedy is rumored to be leaving Lucasfilm. Okay. But I mean, look, we're in the middle of a cultural revolution right now, like nothing we've ever seen before in this pop culture community. And it didn't just happen by itself. This happened because people like you and people who've been watching videos, speaking out, or even just checking out, entirely made it clear that they were fed up with the direction things were going. You see, people got tired of watching their beloved franchises and IPs like Star Wars get twisted just to fit a woke political agenda, okay? And now we don't have to see that anymore. But just because Kathleen Kennedy is leaving doesn't mean that Star Wars is actually saved. You see, it's actually tempting to think that her exit would magically fix everything, but let's be honest, it's going to take years to pick up the pieces. The damage done to Star Wars is massive. It's not just about one person leaving, it's about changing an entire culture within Lucasfilm. Now, if this news about Kathleen Kennedy is true, then sure, it's great. It's the first step, but it's just that. One step. It's going to take at least 5 to 7 years, maybe even a decade before we really start to see things turn around for Star Wars. And that's if Disney even has the guts to make the changes that need to happen. You see, they got to clean house and bring in people who actually understand what Star Wars is supposed to be. Okay. But of course, I mean, unless we get, some sort of Elon Musk style takeover where someone comes in and wipes out all the wokeness in one fell swoop, it's going to be a slow process. And honestly, I don't see that happening at Disney. You see, they're too set in their ways, but crazy things have happened. Okay. So yeah, is Kathleen Kennedy really leaving? Well, we'll see. But right now, it's just a report or a rumor. It feels different this time. The timing, the culture shift, the financial stuff, it all lines up a little too perfectly. And it's no coincidence that it's happening just as Kathleen Kennedy is rumored to be stepping down. Okay. Now, Star Wars fans everywhere are watching this closely. We all know how much, Kathleen Kennedy has actually influenced the poor direction of Star Wars over the years. And for better or worse, Kathleen Kennedy and her legacy with Star Wars is going to be talked about for a long time. Okay, so yeah, but anyway, I mean, that's where things are right now. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think that Kathleen Kennedy is really stepping down? And more importantly, do you actually think that Star Wars can be actually saved or redeemed without Kathleen Kennedy at the helm? Okay, let me know thoughts about this in the comments below. Smash the like button in this video, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. Till then, peace.